it was a little bit more messy previously, mainly due because of the main sort of relevant range, which occurred from here, and it's just been a bit of a mess. The patterns were messy, but now we've got a clear pattern, meaning we know where this is going. Let me just add some of the more members. Who's coming in? Hold on. And JB Jamil and Flame Asfar. Yes, Asfar. I believe you're quite new to the community, so welcome if you are. Okay, decent. And yes, welcome, Jamil. I'll just recap in dollar. So dollar recently, if we zoom out to the H1 real quick, before it was a pattern, then it was this larger pattern, and it was just a mess. But now we've got a clear pattern, which is pretty ideal because there is some unfilled liquidity from around here based on this liquidity pool, this imbalance, and this larger liquidity pool up here. So there's a lot of confluences for price to do one more push to the upside and then drop. Most likely we'll see something like this in FOMC and a very, very big long. So that's the game plan for now, if that coincides with any of the technicals that I'm about to mention. So first of all, we can start with this particular compression. The only thing is that with this small compression, I don't really, actually, you know what, this is fun. I just zoomed in. But ideally, when you see a compression that is extremely small, such as this, hold on, such as this, for example, that normally just fails and just forms like a larger pattern. But at the moment, this looks okay for a compression, to be honest. Let me just add some more members in. Hold on. Was that it? Yeah, no, I believe that's it. Okay, cool. So yeah, we've got compression, potential rally to the upside. And let's look at the 5-minute time frame real quick. What do we have here? We do have, let me delete this. We do have this bit of a banker block. Has it been filled? Not yet. We do also have some equal lows here. Very faint equal lows, meaning there's still a chance it can drop to the downside a little bit. Let's update this pattern, make it more clearer, and perhaps there's another pattern playing out here, as you can see. Right, so we do have this pattern. This QM, don't really trust it because of the banker block that hasn't really been filled yet. So I am expecting this to drop to the downside one more time. Anything else that I've missed out? To be honest, I don't believe I have. I now use this as a point of interest, this imbalance. Now with the imbalance, I'm not going to use it as an entry, just a point of interest. So if I do see a pattern here or some confirmation, breaker structure, then yeah, we can get involved on a potential long. So that is, yeah, that's more or less dollar covered, keep it really, really simple. This pattern here has yet to be played out, as you can see. And wait. And yeah, this is very likely there's going to be a reversal from around here. And you can see it's identical to a bit of a parallel channel, which we could have. Same thing, really. Look, we just had a parallel channel here. It adds up pretty nicely towards that point of interest. So there we go. So that's the game plan on, yeah, the dollar. So bullish on the dollar for today from around this point of interest. Again, wait for confirmation, etc. FOMC sometime today in like 7 hours or something. So ideally, this liquidity pool, which is quite thin, it's going to get deleted because obviously it's still inside of a pattern. If and when price reverses, you can see it's just invalid. So we'll be looking at this imbalance, which is fine. It was caused by this area, and we do have this liquidity pool. So these are the point of interest that I'll be looking at. So let me just do my imbalance here. Hold on. That's fine. We can delete this. And we can have this liquidity pool here just as a point of interest. And also, let's be prepared that FOMC can just do a madness and come up even higher, which, by the looks of it, I can't see that happening, but just in case, it's always good to be prepared. So let's see if there's anything here that we haven't spotted yet. Let's go to the 5-minute. Okay, I see something. Lovely equal highs. Very subtle hidden equal highs, which is fine. Oh, and there's also equal highs here. There's a bunch of equal highs. So ideally, this area, this liquidity pool, quite a big one. This liquidity pool here would be ideal for price to come back to. So this is like the extreme area where I could see FOMC push price before reversing. So that's what I've got at the moment for the dollar. So yeah, dollar strength sometime soon, and then potential dollar weakness. And yeah, that's about it. Let me just add this here. And obviously, if price keeps on going higher for whatever reason, then yeah, just study what's happening here. You know, maybe there's a QM or an imbalance and whatever, and you just do it just above this liquidity pool. But that's the game plan at the moment. So yeah, dollar strength. And then obviously once and if dollar strength plays out, then we do have, you know, this larger fourth wave that's yet to be filled, and also this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So yeah, bullish strength. Oh, this is quite nice. Look, the medium trend line. You see that medium of the channel? It will be in confluence as well with that point of interest. So that looks pretty decent, actually. Let me take my time. I feel like I'm rushing it because it's a live stream, and I am on a bit of a time schedule as well. So hold on. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we've got the medium here. Lots of point of it. So yeah, let's just set some alerts from. I'm going to set an alert here for potential shorts, and set an alert around down these areas for potential longs. I'm going to set the alert around the 50% of the banker block. Ideally, obviously, what we want to see is a break of structure to the downside. Oops, no, wrong way. So I'm just monitoring this across. So for those of you who are new and don't really understand, actually, most of you, no, you guys are veterans now, man. So really, once this particular low gets taken out, caused by this high, right? And if that happens and it makes a new low, then the breaker structure, which was originally from around here and here, it gets updated. Obviously, as price develops, you keep on updating the breaker structure. You know, you guys know this anyway. And yeah, then we'll be looking at a point of interest for a long. So yeah, that's the game plan. And yeah, this QM that I said here in the middle of no man's land is failing as expected. Not surprise, surprise. And yeah, we'll see what happens for dollar strength. Another probability now is, first of all, potential buys from around here, and then potential sells from around here. But what about the other scenario if there's sells? You know, what if this trend line actually plays out and it starts reversing? Then, you know, then we just have to adapt. I mean, first of all, where is the recent sort of relevant range on the H1? To be honest, look, the relevant range on the H1 is still within a liquidity grab range. The H1 point of interest at the moment, we're still in bearish territory, right? So yeah, still bearish. 15-minute time frame. What do we have here? To be honest, there is a breaker structure here to the downside. So the 15-minute is actually turning out to be a breaker structure from ideally from around here, actually. Oh, this is liquidity grab. And finally, there is a breaker structure potentially occurring. So just bear that in mind. Ideally, what I want to personally see is just some clear momentum, you know, if I'm looking for shorts. So if I see some very, very clear momentum, then I'll just look for some form of a trade here to take the market short. So that's more or less the game plan, but can't really see that happening due due to the confluences I just mentioned and this equal highs here and everything, but just bear that in mind. So shorts are, shorts, there's a potential, but just wait for extra confirmation, wait for some nice, strong bearish momentum, break a structure on the low time frames. But for now, the longs are definitely preferred. This trend line, just update it from around here. Any other thing I can see? This could be a pattern in the future. It's not really ready yet. If that's the case, then this would be more or less the new pattern here. Look. Right. So if we delete this temporarily, this could be a new sort of wave that we can update. 1, 2, all this here will be a 3, this will be the new 4, and then 5 will be done here. So this is sort of the pattern that I'm expecting to play out. Or I have that there as a reference, because obviously it could easily reverse from the imbalance, from this liquidity pool or this liquidity pool. So I just have it as a reference, but this is more or less what I'm expecting on this particular trade. So that looks pretty cool, actually. I'm going to keep that there. This was the original sort of pattern, which is still on the cards, right? But until we get a strong break of structure, then we can just delete this pattern here, right? And we'll have to update the Elliott waves as well. So you update the Elliott waves just how you update the patterns and your levels. Okay, so that's the game plan. So it looks quite clear now that there's some structure and some direction for price to just, we can see the boomerang like well in advance, right? Massive boomerang playing out, equal lows down here and big longs towards this point of interest. And we just keep on playing ping pong, just how it is. Okay, so that's the dollar. Dollar yen. Yeah, this is a loss. Let me quickly cover that real quick. Let's put this here. So ideally with dollar yen, I wasn't anticipating this move here. That was sort of the plan B, but because of all the confluences, this compression and this parallel channel, this liquidity pool, this equal highs, I updated and I just thought, you know what, it's unlikely for price in this session to continue going up because of all the confluences. So I just thought, you know what, let me take a trade there. It was outside of my trading hours. Obviously my trading hours are, either London session from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's normally when I'm in trades, or from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's normally my trading hours on average. And every now and again, if there's a trade, this happened at what time? When did it actually get triggered? Yeah, if there's a trade at 9 p.m., how often does that happen? Not that often, but it was a high probability trade. So I'm going to take it, right? There's a pattern here, There's a liquidity pool. There was a QM here on the lower time frames. There was equal highs. Parallel channel, I'm going to take that no matter what. So I split the risk in half. But instead of me doing 0.2% risk, like I normally do, I just done 0.15% risk because of the time of the day, right? So you need to tweak your risk based off these scenarios. You can't always be very mechanical all the time and robotic. You need to play around with your risk, know when to increase the risk, etc., etc. So pretty happy with the loss. And I also in advance accepted the fact that there's a chance of me getting stopped out. I already accepted it anyway. So I took it, but I reduced the risk by a good, what's that, 20 to 15? What's that, 25%? Which is, I'm happy with that. It's fine. This trade got triggered in and then it just failed. And then this trade got triggered in. And then after it, around basically here at this particular candle, because I was monitoring it, at like 9:55 in my bed, in my phone, but I've got my analysis on my phone. I decided to close it because it just didn't look it just didn't look correct. I mean, this bullish momentum right near the banker block, this is when you just want to delete that trade and just come out. And I ended up coming out, reduced the risk by 30% on that second position. And then what happened next? It ended up dropping. I just thought, oh, damn. But I didn't really feel all damn, actually. Let me take that one back. When it dropped, I already also accepted, you know, if it melts, it's fine. I'll take on the chin. But I just didn't like the price action and the time of the day. Normally with a high probability trade such as dollar yen with the QM, the 3 aces, equal highs, this should plummet, right? If you're right. And because it never plummeted immediately from literally from this area and this area, and there's a bullish engulfing candle here, it just did not seem right. So I just closed it, ended up dropping a bit, and it would have hit stop anyway. So that was that was that. Lawrence, yeah, I had a 3 aces on AU2, Freddie. Now, lovely. I'll cover Aussie real quick. I don't think I've analyzed Aussie in detail like you guys have, so maybe I might have a 3 aces as well. So yeah, this is basically dollar yen. Let me see the time. It's 11:50. Cool. So that's dollar yen. This ended up losing. I'm expecting dollar yen to basically fly because of obviously DXY, but mainly because of a potential new pattern, which is this. Now, first of all, this pattern here needs to be updated. So if we update it to this relevant structure here, right? And then we've got, what do we have? Oh, there we go. I think that's about it. This should be fine. And then ideally, what else can we do from here? And to here, this could be our new pattern. And we've got lots of unfilled liquidity from here. This is a very significant H1, 15-minute, probably a H4 breaker structure. Hasn't been retested yet. There's banker blocks here, and obviously higher up here, and they haven't been retested. We've got compression here. We've got this parallel channel trendline break and retest. We've got potential, bloody third tap there. I mean, everything's screaming for a long, to be honest. So maybe if I see a good opportunity, I may have to get involved in a long now. So you see how 1 minute I'm bearish, next minute I'm bullish. Very easy to just change your bias because you're trading your strategy. You just trade what the market gives you. Forget the bias, forget the news and the well, me personally, the news and the fundamentals and whatnot, and just trade what the market gives you. And here we may have a bit of a parallel channel. There we go. So you know what? Let's delete this. I haven't updated this into my journal, so I'm not going to delete all of this stuff actually. So let's go to the 5th 5 minute real quick. This looks quite sexy for a long, to be honest. It's quite cool for a long. Interesting. The 1 minute. Don't really like that liquidity grab. Actually, no, I'll take that one back. Let's zoom in. Is that a clear broker structure? Yeah, clear broker structure. Fine. Caused by, really, it was this move here. So ideally, if we do see some form of a pattern break, and obviously this banker block here has a low probability. So I'll wait for extra confirmation there. And then we also have this imbalance, which I will wait for extra confirmation because I don't use an imbalance for entries, do I? Set an alert here for potential longs. And just to walk you guys through this trade, let's just do this from scratch. So sometimes when I'm doing this live stream, I miss these fine details. It's because it's a live stream, guys, and I'm not in the zone, am I? I'm doing a live stream. So let me slowly get into the zone. Boom, breaker structure, relevant low, relevant high. Nice breaker structure. Relevant low, okay, breaker structure. Boom, new high, new low, boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool, new low, new high, nonsense, just a pullback, and boom, breaker structure caused by, yeah, this move here. Okay, so yeah, that was correct. Cool. So sometimes just double check double check your charts. Obviously when you're in your zone, you're not talking in front of people and analyzing. So you've got time. So that's the 1 minute. The 5 minute breaker structure though is here. Right? And both of them are just, they're mitigators. You got the 5 minute breaker structure and the M1 breaker structure. And we'll be looking for longs from around here. And have I just seen a potential QM? I don't know. You tell me, guys, is that QM? So we'll see. Okay, so dollar yen potential longs. Okay, cool. Interesting. So setting a lot here. And this has a long way to go. Let's go back to the 15 minute. Sorry if my chart's a bit messy, but I need to upload everything into my journal and then I can delete everything. Okay, that looks like a decent trend. And the only thing I don't like about this particular trade is I'm going to wait for extra confirmation. So let me give you guys a little tip here. So whenever I personally see a perfect third tap, actually, no, tell a lie. What am I talking about? This is a three aces. That's fine. So we're catching the three aces, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, I never saw that. My bad. Well, I did see it, but I just forgot about it. Cool. Anyway, let me show you guys something. So whenever you see something like this, right, and then you see a third tap, don't trust it, right? Don't trust it, because ideally there's normally a boomerang unless it's a three aces such as this, right? But whenever this happens and you've got your third tap, we'll just wait for triple confirmation. So let the trade play out, let it be a breaker structure on the 1 minute, and then just wait for another breaker structure on the 1 minute and then get involved. Just be extra cautious when that happens. Right, let me go to the, oh wow, dollar yen's looking really cool, man. Okay, looking really good. I'm gonna make that tiny loss I took the other night back, hopefully, God willing. So what I mean by extra confirmation, guys, to be honest, this is a three aces QM. Oh, sorry, this is a three aces 1, 2, 3, which is actually a high probability trade. So, which is fine. But if there was no three aces, everyone, but you see a break of structure, you see a QM, wait for double confirmation. So let the trade trigger your point of interest, even if there's a pattern, right? But don't take this trade. Just be extra cautious if it's just a third tap, because obviously if it's just a third tap, there's a good probability it's just going to do a boomerang and then go long, right? So what I mean by extra confirmation, just wait for something like this. Let the confirmation, the normal one, come out, equal lows here as well. There's a pattern here, whatever. Just let it trigger. Do not enter, but then wait for that extra confirmation on a new breaker structure on the 1 minute and then get involved, right? So, okay, I might have to speed things up because I need to get into the zone with dollar yen. You know me, I can't, So dollar yen looks pretty cool. Okay, looks pretty decent. And you get the idea. There's a three aces, there's confirmation. And this banker block here can get deleted because it's inside of the pattern. And let's redefine this banker block here. There we go. I'm using this one here, by the way. And we can use this as a conservative sort of banker block exit, unless there's an imbalance here that I haven't spotted. Okay, we can. There's a bit of an imbalance there, which is actually in confluence of the banker block. So you can have. Where is this? Okay, you can actually just have a bit of a liquidity pool here. But this could be our point of interest for exiting. So this liquidity pool there. So yeah, okay. Ooh, okay, let me what else is happening? So large boomerang, bullish buys. what I'm doing here, guys, is just speaking out loud, but I'm also double analyzing the chart. You know what? Might not have time. Let me just get to the sun. Hold on. Questions. What's this? Diego, is that what SMC calls a breaker block on the dollar? SMC? Is that what smart money concept calls a breaker block on the dollar yen? What's the SMC is a type of strategy, Jamil. And a breaker block, no, I'm not too familiar with what a breaker block is. You mean an order block? I think you know more of the terms than I do, Jamil. I say equal lows and equal to pull. Where when I talk to myself, it's easier. Yeah, picture same way I talk to myself as well. Okie dokie. Okay, so that's dollar yen. Aussie. What's happening here? Oh, you guys were spotting a 3 aces and okay, must be something. Okay, it must be this out then. So yeah, I did have it. And I guess you can actually wait for some confirmation. I'm guessing you guys have this set up here, this 3 aces kind of set up. And to be honest, you can actually do this as a 4th tap. This can be updated. It's a bit of a boomerang. I can potentially see some equalizer, and we can see a bit of a QM. Yeah, we can see a nice little QM. You can see the QM here, guys, right? Nice little QM. Whoops, daisy. Nice little QM, equal highs, lovely jubbly. And there's actually some here as well. So yeah, ideally, this needs time to develop into a new pattern. So we'll just leave this here. So yeah, this was like a good trade as well on Aussie. Freddie, is there a mechanical rule which we can use to determine whether the pair is plummeting or exploding once it has reached our point of interest? Is there a mechanical rule which we can use to determine whether the pair is plummeting or exploding once it has reached our point of interest? And are the times where you expect price to plummet or explode on certain setups versus it taking a slower movement as a reversal? Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the probability of the trade, Freddie. So if it's a high probability trade, such as a boomerang 1, 2, 3 with extra confirmation or something, then that has a high probability of it plummeting or exploding from the point of interest compared to a trade where it's just a pattern, right? That's normally how I sort of identify it. In terms of a mechanical rule to determine, and no, I wouldn't look at it like that. It just depends on really depends on the grade of the setup. If it's a high probability trader or a low probability trade, that's going to tell you whether it's going to plummet strongly or weakly, basically. Yeah, so hopefully that answered your question. You mentioned closely on you just because it was moving slowly. Oh, yes, I did mention that. And I'm wondering, good question. And I'm wondering how you got about making that decision. Yes, very good question, Freddie. Unfortunately, I can't answer that because what's funny is I just done a video on that for BLT Accelerated. So you're asking the right questions. So I literally just spent 30 minutes or 40 minutes talking about what you just asked. That's the thing with BLT Accelerated. It's going to help with a lot of the discretion. So you're onto something, Freddie. I'll give you that one. You're onto something, Freddie. Freddie's always asking smart questions. Freddie's the guy for, the questions. So yeah, nice one, Freddie. apologies if I can't get into it, because then I'll be giving away BOT accelerated. But if you pay close attention, maybe you might get some hints. Okay. This Aussie looks okay. It just needs some time. Euro. I mean, guys, look at this. It just doesn't look, this is not clear, is it? You know, there's no, nope. So Euro, I'm going to stay away from it. Yeah, Euro's just a bit, okay, Euro, no Euro today. Dollar CAD, easy. Okay, cool, interesting. There's compression. We are expecting a move to the downside, sorry, to the upside. So wouldn't be surprised if it comes up and does something like this. And then obviously plummets and then goes long. So with this dollar yen trade and FOMC, you need to be in and out quite quickly. But yeah, most likely there'll be a new wave up here, and we also have this sort of 1, 2. Okay, cool. This looks okay, actually. And we do have some equal highs there. Okay, alerts are popping. This is a very, very good short, to be fair. This sort of liquidity pull up here. Nice equal highs. Ideally, it should be this low here. There we go. And we have this banker block. But with this banker block, wait for extra confirmation, obviously because of the equal highs. So yes, potential buys there. I mean, this is, yeah, this is a bit of a, it's a bit of an imbalance anyway. Oh, no, it hasn't been filled yet. It hasn't really been filled. So once it does fill, then we can reevaluate. So yeah, there's a lot of setups today. I mean, this is, yeah, potential buys and then potential shorts from either scenario, and the big longs will be up here somewhere. So that's the game plan on dollar CAD. But I do prefer dollar yen, obviously. There's just more confluences. And that's about it. Yeah. What other questions have you guys got before I wrap things up? And have 4 minutes. And yeah, Freddie, in terms of that question, a lot of the BOT accelerated is to help you with that decision making, which I have based on experience and millions of hours of muscle memory, but you guys don't. So obviously you guys might struggle. Hence why BOT accelerated has come into fruition, is to help you guys with decision making. That's literally it, and just make everything more mechanical, make it easier to take a trade. So once you've got everything written down and you see a trade, then you just have whatever you took from BOT accelerated, and you just be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna wait, or you know what, I'm gonna close it now. You know, it's gonna really accelerate your progress. Hence why the name's called BOT accelerated. Okay, guys, questions. Now's a good time, man. Come on, don't be shy. Seems like you guys are more of the experienced bunch now. You're all veterans, BOT veterans now. Where's the mic? There we go. Okay, picture. Nice one. Alerts are popping. Okay, so that's our cue to say our goodbyes. And yeah, come on, Dolly Yen. I'm going to upload this maybe in an hour or two, maybe even this evening. I really need to get into the zone with Dolly Yen. Good luck if you're trading it, and I'll see you on Discord, everyone. Have a good day. Bye. Bye.